curry patty. So you know how it be with our people sometimes at these spots. But
Yeah,
hey,
I'm so jealous because I tried to get a Jamaican beef patty and every store near me is closed, so I get to just admire.
it's the curry chicken. It's that curry flavor that's like it hits. Mm, that's good. Okay, I'll be munching on that.
What a wonderful segue. I love that. But yeah, Jam and Joysticks, honestly, our sponsor has been awesome. Just a refresher if you guys don't or aren't familiar with our sponsor, Jam and Joysticks is a podcast. It is a platform where gaming community comes together to share their stories, their perspectives, their voices. If you haven't had time to check them out, please do. They celebrate diversity, creativity within the gaming industry, which is all what we're about here. And I think their mantra is your story, your perspective, your voice. The whole point is empowerment of gamers, expression of the self, and just being authentic. And I think that that's really great, and why we kind of partnered with them for this game jam. I really do wonderful, wonderful things that are posted on there. If you haven't seen it, I do believe we have some links in both the servers that are involved, but please check them out. They're a huge reason as to why we can do this. So let's talk about the good prizes and the judging for all of the hard work that you guys have put in.
Oh yeah, want to cue up their video real quick?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Burr, if you can show their little quick video. Hey, nice.
Awesome stuff. Love that. So yeah, please go check them out. Plenty of content on there. Um, and yeah, without them, this would not have been able to be possible. So we're thankful to them. Now let's get into some fun stuff. Our game jam is consisted of a total of 14 amazing submissions that we will be reviewing tonight, and will be reviewed by our esteemed judges and audience. You guys will actually have an opportunity to participate in voting. I believe we have a submission link for you. Should be up on the servers. If you can't find it, let us know. But the games will be against the following criteria. These are our categories. We're going to have overall quality, relation to team, and creativity and design. And these are the categories that you can enter into, as well as vote for the favorite games that you see here today. Please, please vote in the titles that you enjoy the most. It's so important to have people interacting, playing, talking. So, without further ado, the whole purpose and point that you guys are all here for, let's go into the game submissions. And we did release, I believe, an order on Discord. We're going to try to pull the team members into here and have you guys talk a little bit about the process of making your game. We'll showcase some of your descriptions, and then we'll kind of just keep cycling through that. A lot of the descriptions were either pulled from the itch page. If you guys have more to say, please inform us when we have questions for you after the fact. But I believe our first team up is going to be Plummies. So, from what I've gathered with Plummies, it is a cute pixelated narrative driven game where you are a creature controlling things and collecting things called Bloomies.
Hey, let's take a quick break and bring the team in and pull up all their stuff, and we'll do a quick preview of their video once we come back in. Give us a few minutes and we'll be right back. Yo.
Hey, we're now going to take a look at Plumies and what they have to offer. We have a little video queued up for you guys here in a moment, so get your popcorn, get your Jamaican beef patties.
Huh? 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 Huh?
Hey, we're back. Oh, Giselle, you're muted.
Talking about that a little bit,
There we
but
go.
yeah, like the voxel vibes, I agree, like completely. Loved seeing that. The concept is really cute, and as a cozy gamer, very much love that. But yeah. I just wanted to talk about the interview questions. Unfortunately, the developers of Plumies are not currently with us, but we wanted to talk about what we'll actually be discussing with you guys when we're bringing you into the showcase room. This is the Plumies itch page. Please go check it out. Please go play their game. I think it's such a lovely concept. If they were here, we would be, talking about how you actually came up with the initial concept for the game, what inspired the theme or the mechanics. Maybe talking about some of the challenges that you faced throughout the month. How did you overcome them? What's your favorite part of developing? What's your least favorite part? Are there any particular games, media, or other games that inspired the design? Or just overall, like how did you handle dealing with the team? Or is this your first jam, or any fun facts that you want to share with us? And then I think a really good one is if you plan on continuing this project, if people want to follow you and what you're doing, where can we find you? Questions like that. So if you guys are wondering about what we were going to ask and want to prepare your questions, it's along those lines, just kind of talking about the overall development process. But please go check out all these links. It's wonderful, wonderful that we have this. The Plumies page is so cute. I love that they use like a digitized font for it. It's definitely really cool, very immersive to the overall world. I love it as a UI UX designer. The logo, the consistency of the theme, the palette. Beautiful, beautiful game to start off. But yeah,
Agreed.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
What
Tim, what are your
since
thoughts?
we don't have Troy with us today to talk about what his game was about, what did you kind of understand from the video? Like, what did you? I definitely got like some Pikmin vibes a little bit from it, but like, also like a little bit unique to this aspect of collecting these like creatures from these like little seedlings as they grow and develop and help you do things.
Yeah, it's definitely like I really like the party aspect of it, that they're kind of like following you around, and you can kind of like summon them, and the sound effects were really cool. Genuinely just an overall amazing vibe. I'd love to see more of this. Is it a dino? I think like your little dino, like that creature alone is
Seems
just
like
such
it.
a cute asset, like adorable.
Yeah, seems like it, right? A little
Yeah.
bobby movement that it does. It's pretty cute. Yeah,
Awesome,
that's
awesome.
cool.
Well, I believe from here we will take another intermission to drag in the next team, and I believe that's actually going to be Capitalism Cannot Last will be our next. I don't know if they're there, but we'll queue up the little video demo that we have there, and we will see you guys in a few minutes.
All right. Hey, we're back.
Hello.
Okay, I'll be the first to comment that this was very interesting. TJ unfortunately was not able to join the video to talk a little bit about their game. I think they were had something going on, but from the video though, that last bit uh, it says something about throw capitalism into space. Um, very interesting kind of text-based experience here. I definitely got the vibe of like a lot of research and time had been put into, there was quotes, there was book references in there. There was just a lot of things that were like put into this experience to kind of almost be like a bit of a educational vibe going on from what I could gather. Like they wanted to inform people about, I guess, like the structure of capitalism and maybe like the challenges and the problems with it that exist. Um, and that was pretty interesting to, have that element be displayed in that way. I'm curious to like step through it, like, you know, and see kind of like how the narrative or the different resources that were like highlighted in this are like actually kind of, you know, formalizing into this idea of, you know, capitalism is bad, and you know, the presentation of it all.
Yeah, no, for
So
sure. It's definitely it brings me back to my childhood of like point and click games, but kind of that
yeah,
like immersive entertainment where you're learning and uncovering things as you're interacting with the story. And I think that's a very interesting way to present it. It's a very educational but interactive way to educate people on this, but also like a little bit of like a take where you are talking about it in a way that is more to, literally throw it out into space. But I genuinely love the art style. Like some of those shots, very intricate. I don't know if anyone remembers like the DS, like when you could like do like the pixel
oh
chat and
yeah,
stuff. That's what it reminded me of, but such detailed art. And I think that that was such a unique angle to go off of. So honestly, amazing.
yeah,
Love that.
very unique art style for the
Hmm.
choices. Also, I'll note real quick before we, you know, move on to the next game that like uh on the page you see that it's noted that they use Decker as the game engine, which I've never heard of before, and it's definitely not in any of our resources that we've talked about with other game jams and whatnot. So it seems that that's like a system that uses like Twine and other narrative to layer in text and images together in a way that's like easy, I think. Uh, Worth checking out in some detail, but and on that page, I can see that there's a resources link on there, and I checked into it real quick, and there's like a ton of like context and resources that they used for this game. So that's a cool one. It definitely resonates with what we do in the kitchen, as far as informing our what we create by based on like lived experience and also researched experience. You know, so that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I believe this was also cross-posted as well to another game jam as well. So it's cool to see that there's other themes going on there and other entries there. So if you guys are interested in that as well, I think that's linked on, or at least mentioned on the itch page. But yeah, that was an awesome experience, and thank you for giving us that. I'll have to check out Decker. I'm only familiar with Twine, so that's a really cool thing to know that there's
Right.
one that combines the two mediums.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. All right, we will be moving on from that beautiful masterpiece into Dark Were the Clouds. That will be our next theme. We'll take a little brief break, get your water, and we will come back with that video for you guys. we are back and we are going to be walking through the itch page of Dark Where the Clouds. As you guys may not know, it is an action-packed platformer where you play as VK Winkman and his team of doomed scientists trying to escape with plant samples from the last sun dome on Earth. And as you can see, this page is amazing. So much detail put into the art style here. I love the text, the big, bold, dark with were the clouds, and just even on the sides here, like the art style was really, really well thought out. There's no video for this, but if you can see the little clips on the side here, the detail, I believe if you click on that bird, it'll expand. Yeah, look at the overall palette and art style. Like that is just such an intense. It reminds me of Meat Boy. I don't know if you played
Super
that.
Meat Boy.
For
Yeah.
Meat Boy, yeah, like that's definitely what I take away from this as well. But I just love the art style on this, and the way that it is animated is so cool to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too. Yeah, I was just like the art style with the character, like it's really simple, but like with the detail and the art, like it's raining or it has this kind of foreground thing going on. The character and its multiple versions of the character, moving, and that kind of jump that it has, like it's considering I remember that this one was submitted early in the jam, and it has like a good amount of polish for what at least what we can tell from the gifs. Like it's well polished for what we can see, which is really nice to see. That was a thing. I think also this one was submitted as part of the Just Play Jam, which is one of our sister jams happening around the same time as it ended during our month of the jam, which also has like a climate based theme around it as well. So that's a pretty interesting bit. There was some note about Ray Bradbury. Did you see that, Giselle, as well?
Let
me see.
Oh, awesome! There it is. Okay.
Ray Bradbury.
Yeah,
quote.
that quote right there. It struck a chord. I don't. Do you know what the quote is?
I do not.
I'm curious about that.
Oh wait, hold on.
It's about an astronaut plummeting to Earth and lamenting the fact that his life is over and nothing he has done had mattered. Like, I genuinely think the reason this game is so cohesive with its art style is because there's such a strong foundation for what this is. Like, you can tell there's deep lore, you can tell there's like a story behind what's going on here, and I really think that adds to the significance of it. And yeah, I would have to agree, the polish for this game is insane. I was looking at the tools that they used: Game Maker Studio, Audacity, clip art, Mixcraft. Insane amount of a polish for such a short jam. So I genuinely love this one, and I'm a sucker for anything that's in space, anything that's sci-fi. So I genuinely love the idea of this. But yeah, and I'm gonna have to hunt out that quote for myself, that Ray Bradbury quote. I love that.
There is something quoted below. I'm not sure if it's the same from the same one, but it says, if I use paper straws instead of plastic, how is that magically going to fix the planet in one day? I don't think that's the one. I think that's just like how people think about stuff. But yeah,
it makes you think.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Also a good example of using other assets to finish something faster, which we are very big proponents of, using pre-made assets to get your idea represented. So this is really cool.
Yeah, and that paragraph you mentioned too, like, ends with such a powerful quote, in my opinion. Like, we're talking about how is that going to fix it in one day, but your existence will echo on long after you've gone in wonderful ways you probably can't even imagine or foresee. And to me, that's like a very powerful statement right there. So lots of thought put into this one. I really enjoy it.
Heck yeah.
Some stuff. Alrighty. I think that means we will go ahead and transition to the next game. Please go ahead and check these out. OGTB, I believe, is our next one. Hopefully, I'm saying that around what that's supposed to be. But we will transition into pulling up
Obviously, an
content for that one.
acronym for something.
Something, right? I can't wait to hear what it's about. Very curious with that.
Oh boy.
All right. We'll see you
We'll
guys
be
in a
right
minute.
back. All right, we're back. OJTB. Let's see what this one's about.
Excited.
I'll be a short video too.
Alrighty. I like the pan over. Oh, okay. I like this.
Are those closed?
guys, like, are we shopping? I feel like it's like we're shopping. Okay, picking up stuff, knocking over cubes, packages. I too used to do this when I was little. Hide in shopping racks. That was my hobby. Very cute.
The maze a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm picking up music. Yeah, I'm picking
And we're through. Nice. Awesome. Okay, well, we are here with the developers and creators of this game, and we were gonna let them kind of talk about the name. As before we watched the video, I already had some questions, so I've already dived into what they want to say. But can you guys, talk about your inspiration or a little bit of the concept and how you guys got into creating this game this month?
Yeah, totally. We were all joking about the mysterious OJTB, and I think what had happened was originally we had an idea for an Osmosis Jones based game where it was like cells coming together to become one creature, and so we went with Osmosis Jones type beat, and then we ended up playing with the idea, and like eventually it became we want multiple people or creatures or characters to be part of the same whole, and we ended up going with a kind of goofy version of collective power being 3 kids stacked in a trench coat.
Okay, I thought that's what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are seeing these slides next to us, but there were a couple characters that we had designed that we weren't able to actually get in the game yet, that Becca had done, which were Link, Lucky, and Lucy, which are 3 siblings. And so basically the premise of the game narratively that we wanted was that you would start off in the mall and you'd be in the clothing section with your parents, which is always boring for every kid in the history of mankind, and that you would want to get up to the toy floor where it was fun and it was popping. And so you would progress through clothing department, then frozen department, and then electronics department, and finally last level you would reach the toys. For this we only finished the first level because it ended up being a lot more than we expected it to be, but everybody did a killer job on what we do have for the first level, and level design and assets from Vel and Matea jumping on and like sourcing all of those, and Vel making the great models for Lucky and Link. Yeah, and so the objective is to just basically get through the maze, and eventually we'll be adding enemies that are like mall security that are trying to get you back to your parents. And so you'll be trying to get around and be quiet and not alert them. So kind of stealth mode while being awkward and stacked in a trench coat with the 3 of the kids.
Okay. I was wondering because I heard the crashing sounds when you ran into this stuff, and I was like, either you're supposed to do that or you're not supposed to do that. So obviously you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cute.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh, she is muted.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you heard me say it too. Like, when I was little, I was navigating towards hiding within the racks as a kid myself. So this is a perfect concept I can see in childhood and me wanting to emulate that. So it's super cute. I love the 3 stack, the trench coat, the physics on the trench coat. That was like my favorite. Immediately I was like, love that. Love the physics on that. So cute. I guess I'll ask, like, what was your guys' like biggest challenge that you guys kind of felt like you had to overcome during the process of making this?
Vel, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I would kind of just say there were 6 of us, and we're all in different time zones. At least 4 of us covered at least the United States. Someone was in MST, me. Someone was in CST, PST, EST. Someone was in Japan, and I'm not sure where the other person was, but they were like in between that. So time zones was a factor. But then also we were all really busy with other projects. So just time management as a whole and just making things work. But we at least made something. But that would probably be the 2 biggest things I can think of.
Mm.
For
We
sure.
also had a big game engine switch halfway
Yeah.
through the game, so we had most of our like assets and stuff figured out. I had done all the music for all the levels, and then we realized, ooh, maybe we don't want to use Unreal because we're not comfortable over here. So then we switched the whole squad over to Godot in about the last week and shortened it from basically a month-long jam to our regular like week-long jam. But I think we pulled through. It was fun.
Yeah, we
That's
had like
awesome.
9 days left. And we're like, yeah, well, we'll switch engines.
Honestly, that's really impressive to be able to just take it into a new engine and still crank something out. I think that's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
true.
shout out to Myrtle. He did a lot of work in there to make sure it worked properly. And Joshua.
We appreciate our programmers.
Yeah.
Yo, guy, I bow down. I got stuck for like 3 days on just trying to figure out collisions. Those guys are the goats.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
Godot
glad
will get
to
ya.
see. Yeah, I'm glad to see like some teams have had some success with making something in Godot during the jam. I'm hoping that we'll see some others that I do remember we're talking about using Godot, and so glad to see folks are using the space to at least try to experiment a little bit, even with the challenges around it. That's what this whole spirit of doing something new as well. So that's awesome.
And I think I heard you guys already touch on stuff that you want to expand on, but like, do you guys plan on taking this further after the jam or developing on it?
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to finish the 3 levels and just like get the assets in there. We have like an ice world level with like pandas and polar bears and then planned, and then the final level being kind of like Tron vibes of just like super neon electronic department. So I think since we already have them designed, it might just be fun to try to finish them and polish it up a little bit. And so we'll see, depending on everybody's like outside projects, how far we can get, but it'd be nice to push it a little further.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we had a lot of things designed, but then we had like the asset list and whatnot. So we just need to dedicate time to it, but it'll be really fun.
Awesome. Well, thank
Heck
you
yeah.
guys for sharing today. Like, the game is awesome. I love hearing about the future plans and what you guys plan on doing. I even love the story with the name. I think that's great. But yeah, we'll let you guys go here. We're gonna get rolling into our next game. But thank you so much, and I hope you guys had fun during this game jam.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
You guys.
Thanks, y'all.
And we are
Hey.
back. And we are here to showcase to you Taliwa, an adventure game about a Jamaican girl, Seashell, living in Montego Bay, Jamaica during the early 2000s. She's tasked with getting the groceries from the local shops to make traditional beef patties with her grandmother. She traverses through the streets of Jamaica, warding off the environment, getting help from residents and her cousins using things, everyday items, every day. She decides to help with massive little problem by cleaning up the streets. It's a non-violent form of gameplay with Jamaican proverb, out of many, one people. This game is filled with patois, the language of Jamaica, vibrant colors, original dancehall lo-fi, and reggae music. Without further ado, let's check it out.
Art's cute.
So adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, do you hear the sound on there? Okay, good.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
A little animation action.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, I mean, we brought the creator and developer in here to discuss a little bit about the game. I'll start off with the same question, like how did you come up with the concept? What inspired the theme, mechanics? Just chat to us about this adventure.
Yeah, so what inspired it is me, my family, my heritage, my roots. I'm Jamaican. I'm literally wearing like my crest right now. Like, so when I heard about the food item, I make patties all the time, especially like for other people. So I'm thinking like, okay, when I used to traverse through the streets of Jamaica, like I'm on vacation. I didn't grow up there. I'm first gen American. And having to like go to the different shops and get the different things. You could go to like a bigger place, but usually you would go to like a meat shop and then there'd be veggies. It was just like separate compartments. So the game started off as a rhythm based dungeon crawler. And then my team was like, "You're doing a lot for a month." And I was like, "I can understand that. I can understand that. But, we're still going to have some pretty good music." And the person who worked on the music, shout out to Tan, he did such a good job on like encompassing everything about the culture that like he just really did a good job. So
Yeah.
going through and creating it to be more of like a adventure game, and the goal is to create different levels where she finds different products, and like the people in the community are helping her. Like she has her cousins with the assist. She has the rasta man that's like helping her with the items, so instead of having a store, he would be there to like hand things out and help her out. And then an amalgamation of like her cousins, making it a bit easier for her to like get away from like the animals and things like that. And then there is going to be like a little secret level that's going to have a bit of a Jamaican lore in there. So that's how I'm going to like expand it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you already answered my question of like, do you have any plans to continue developing? Which
Right.
I would love. I would love to see that. I guess yeah. Then I'll ask you like, what do you think some of your challenges were developing, and maybe what some of your favorite parts developing this game were?
The challenges are I didn't know Unity. And so we had another girl, like another character, and I spent 9 hours animating her off of like a PNG in Unity just for us not to use it. Just for us like not to use it. And then we switched it. So finding the language to ask the programmers like how they can do stuff and what to do. And I did get some help from the Discord, and I was so happy about it because Johnny really was like, "Hey, this is what you need to ask them to do. This is what we're gonna do." Because I just didn't have the language for that. I did like narrative design, and this was my first time doing like level design, and I also helped my friend with like some of the art, but really just like digital art and things like that. So my challenges were like telling the programmers what to do, and like rah-rahing the team so we would all be
Mhm.
on the same page, because two of my team members have been my friend for over 14 years. So when I say stuff, they're locked in. And everybody else I had worked with for the first time. So they're like, can you give us more detail? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Let me, and so just getting that together. But it was a learning experience. It was really, really fun. And I'm so glad I went through this.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of new things you had to take into account for this one because it was your vision, right? You held the core idea, right? So that you get to go about things completely differently when you have to like do it that way. It's like, that's awesome. I love it.
That's great.
I did want to ask one thing as well, Giselle.
Yeah.
But I know before we wrap up the interview, because we have limited time and stuff like that for everything. But the proverb that you mentioned in the description, could you pronounce it like fully properly? I'm not gonna try to speak Patwa like I know.
So
Yeah.
there's
So
for sure. So there's two, right? It's like Otav many one. So it means out of many we're one people. So we have to work together and things like that. And Wiliko but Witalawa, what means we're little, but we're super tall, we're big. So that's what that means. And so it's like, as Jamaica is a small island, to make such a big impact, and then like say you're a small person or you're one person doing one thing, and then you make this really big impact. That's pretty much what that means.
I love that. That's
awesome.
very
Yes.
beautiful. And thank you for pronouncing that because I was not going to be able to do that.
No, that's totally fine. A lot of the game is in patois, but I have English translation, and so that's another thing that I'm gonna keep going when we continue to expand, is putting that patois in there, and then having like just a little bit of English, so it could just be inclusive. Like you just kind of get the full feel.
Hmm.
That part's important to me
Awesome.
because recognizing it as a language and like using it and things like that.
That's beautiful. It's a wonderful way to incorporate it as well. I think it makes the story very powerful, and I love that. And thank you for asking that question, Tim. That was very insightful. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess
But yeah,
that's I think that's our time for this one.
thank you so much for sharing. Please go ahead and check this game out. Beautiful art. All the links should be in the Discord servers. And thank you so much for your time. We will see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Janae, thanks for hanging out and staying up late for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, guys, it is late for her. She's up for this.
Yeah. This is fun.
But yeah, we will be heading off to the next game now, and we will take a quick break, and we will be back. Hello, we are back.
All right.
And we are going to talk a little bit about idle elements. We have a little bit of a short demo to talk about, but I'll just intro it while we're getting that ready. Idle Elements is a Merge 3 idle game about crystals, wizards, and the elements. You're going to use the arrow keys to move the elemental buttons to summon crystals and plots of the land. You align 3 crystals in a row to make them merge and generate more energy. So we're going to take a little quick look as to how that works. And it's a little short demo for you, but we wanted to still showcase what we have here. So let's hit it.
See what's up.
And I love games like this growing up. Like I was just mentioning, like Bejeweled and
Match
stuff.
3.
Like Match 3, solid go-to airplane one.
That's real. It's on the phone too, so this is 100%.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
I saw that it'll be available for iOS and Android on their itch page. So if you're interested, you need a new Match 3 app. Got one for you.
Interesting.
Cool. Awesome stuff.
Okay.
And then, I like how it has an element of having, an actual player character on the board with it, I think that's kind of different than just like swapping with your fingers. It kind of makes you feel like you're... I've never played like top downs, but it gives me like the party feel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does give like party game feel, doesn't it? If it
Mhm.
if that was like a possible thing to have multiple people playing together or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, please be
Interesting,
sure to go check this one out. I believe Link Bot you can even get on your phone, so I think it's a really interesting game to be able to go see and interact with. I love the assets.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is a unique piece. I haven't seen character controlled match 3.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's a
very,
unique take.
very, very neat. Very neat. All
Alrighty.
right. Well, yeah.
Without further ado, we will roll into our next game, which will be Project EQ. Sorry that we were quickly back. You'll see us again in a second.
Be right back. Hey.
We are back with Project EQ, and we're gonna launch into a video, and I'll talk a little bit about EQ just before we do. Project EQ surrounds the concern in the tech sphere as it relates to the Black empowerment movement. Is the concept of racism being baked into code? This game features the collective power of Black professionals creating a socially conscious AI to save the future of tech through music. The player plays the beat map, but the antagonist AI changes the scales, and we have to hit some of it to get a good score. But to get the highest of the scores, you have to improvise while being on beat. Without further ado, let's look at Project EQ.
All right. There's music, right? Yeah, there's a lot of music on this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Okay. Cute settings menu. All right.
I love a UI, so I'm all for it. Thank you for showing the settings menu because that's crucial.
There's obviously some effort put into that, right? So
Yeah.
to make that great game.
Can't hear the music. Though there
People on
is menu
stream
music.
can, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I love that.
This has got some vibe of I don't know, some like kind of dimensional tunnel going on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Sonic Special stage.
Give me that. Very much that. That and like Beat Saber, but like in 2077 cyberpunk vibes. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
So I was inspired by like
Okay, I remember that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's funny because the first time I lose, and I was actually trying.
It's also cute. The characters like dancing along the
I was
way.
gonna say the animations are like cute.
Yeah.
Did y'all make these original songs?
yes, this is actually,
Yeah.
this is actually a song I made a long time ago. And I was using it as a test song, but then time became an essence, time became a factor, and I was like, oh,
Mm.
because we wanted to use an easier song, but here it is.
Oh, and there's a little bit of narrative stuff. Okay.
More to come.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I wanted to try my hand at composing like a full level, but I don't think I have the time for it. But now I think I do.
The fact that y'all have characters with dance moves either makes me like, either y'all made the dance moves and like, animated it, or y'all found these moves and added it into the character.
Oh, those
Yeah, definitely assets.
those are definitely found.
Yeah, they're top quality dances there. They got all the types of look at that. They got all the types of dance. They got the
I'm
cabbage patch.
Yeah. It's like Fortnite level, like,
But that's extremely impressive that like tracks are produced like that in and of itself. Like I know you said that you already had the song, but that's still so impressive to me to like layer that over the gameplay.
Yeah, it was actually I can find that track on the and a bunch of and it's separated specifically to be in a bunch of different parts.
Okay. Okay.
So this was something to know. This was inspired by another project I worked on or I made called Very Extreme Core's Dynamic Dream, and it is this track is also in there, and you can do a similar thing with it where you can like change the parts and things, but in here you can kind of like improvise musically with it with the little like piano sound.
Okay.
I
Okay.
see.
That's
Okay.
the okay. That's the improvisation. Okay, with the piano sound. Gotcha.
Awesome. Well, that was super cool. I mean, you can definitely tell all the different elements that you guys have added into that. You've kind of already touched on expanding the project, but I'll start with, same question to you guys. The initial concept of your game, like you kind of talked a little bit about what inspired it, but could you guys talk about what inspired the mechanics, the overall idea for going this direction?
Oh yeah, 1000%. So a little bit before the game jam was announced, um I was just talking to Dave as we were like finishing up some like Crumble Party stuff, which is another game we worked on. And we were just basically looking at some ways to like improve his resume. And turns out Dave had a whole game, Dream Core, that was just like a banger of like something to showcase, and he wasn't showcasing it at all. And so I was like, yeah, we can like actually make an upgrade from this if you really wanted to. And the game jam came out at a perfect time to kind of like test that skill. So we made this. It's very similar to it, except that it probably has a little bit more functionality to it. There's a settings window, and let's see. Yeah, I think, and it has a nice, cool story as like an added bonus. So like, I think the inspiration from it was just coming from a lot of different like seeing what Dave already like had and just like expanding on it.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. And you guys were already talking about it, but you have plans to expand this further past this game jam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have plans to like add more songs, do more much more dynamic backgrounds, because well, this kind of leads back into the previous question, but it talks about where we wanted to go, because I would play a lot of rhythm games where you play like Guitar Hero and stuff, and it's like you will play these notes and those are the notes that you'll be playing and you're going to be happy with it. And I'm like, but what if I want to play the other notes? And the game's like, no. And I'm like, well, what if there was a game where you could? The only thing is you have to stay, in tune. And it's like, but what if there was like, you could also like dive into the music. Like, you're listening to a good song, you just want to like jump into it like it's a big swimming pool, and kind of like give that into the game. Like the song is not just like, it's like a whole world. So you kind of wanted to fill that in where the player could really dive in and like just enjoy the vibes and like jam out with the song instead of the song just directly instructing them. The instruction is just like playing the right key, but other than that, feel free. It's like a music jam. It's like a little jam session, but in a game. So yeah, we want to expand upon that and do more stuff, more dynamic backgrounds, and Unreal has a lot of features for that are a little complicated to use at times, but they are there and they exist, and we're gonna try to use them.
Yeah, we want to expand the story a lot too. I think the inspiration we had was like you said, bringing awareness to, bias being baked into code and things like that. And a big inspiration that we took from as well was a documentary on Netflix. I think they released in like 2020 called Coded Bias, where they explore an AI or like machine learning in general and how they could have biases baked into them and how to resolve them.
Yeah, that's such a powerful message. I remember watching that documentary too, like as a software engineer, knowing that a lot of these things are coming out and like having to, generate our own content in a way to combat that. So that's a very powerful message to go off of. But yeah, no, thank you
100%.
guys. Thank you guys so much for this, for your message, for your game. That is Project EQ, guys. Please check them out. They have future plans, so they keep planning on expanding it. But for right now, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for sharing everything that you've made. We'll go ahead and see you guys in a second for our next game, Earth Hero.
All right, good
Thank
stuff, y'all. Good job, everybody.
Hello.
Hey,
We are
hey.
back. And we are actually back with Solar Skies, and we are here to talk a little bit about that game and then go into some video. So, Solar Skies is a game where you fly a solar-powered kite to restore power to neighbor islands and collect the ingredients you need to make the best beef patties to share with friends. Collect the sun's rays to generate power to each island that needs to cross over to the master island and enjoy the annual potluck. So let's take a look at Solar Skies.
All right. The annual potluck. I like that.
Right, yeah, sounds good.
Let's see here. Oh,
Oh, here we go.
okay, okay.
Okay, I love the vibes.
Oh yeah. Fly through the rings.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of gameplay. Yeah.
The music is, I love it.
I think with the simplicity of it, the color choice is very strong in terms of like, oh, this is like solar punk,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like
It's very solar punk.
yeah, just because of the bright green and whatnot. So okay, like yeah, it's very not a lot of art assets, but like enough to kind of understand what's happening.
It's very like retro Sonic, you know, like you can
Yeah.
definitely like understand what the elements are. I really appreciate that simplicity. And I'm a sucker for like low poly anything. I think that art style is really cool.
Yeah.
Plus, I love the images for the characters. I guess during the narrative cutaways, I like that art style a lot as well.
Yeah. That part. Oh, we lost Jay.
I think we did. I think we did lose
Uh-oh.
Jay.
Sorry, y'all. Having a quick technical problem.
trying to get them back.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we add them back in or?
yeah, are they still on Discord here?
Uh, Yes. We'll see. Well, now when we come back. There we go.
Cool.
All right. Well, that was Solar Sky. Sorry about
Sorry
the-
about that. If you
we had some
remember,
Discord issues.
Discord's the best. We love. But yeah, that was Solar Skies, and we are here with the creator and solo developer of this game. And we just want to hear you talk about the overall process. Like, how did you come up with the initial concept of your game? What inspired you?
So when we first started, my intention was to try to make something for both this jam and the other jam for the
Just Play
solar
Jam?
punk. Yeah, the Just Play with the solar punk theme.
Mm.
But I got sick like the second weekend, so I got held back with a bunch of stuff, so that didn't work out. And then I guess my inspiration was I was looking at a lot of solar punk stuff, and I was like, what if they had like kites that they use to like absorb energy? Like I know in some designs and aesthetic of solar punk, they have those blimp things. And I
Yeah.
was like, I think it'd be really cool if you incorporated kites, which is kind of cool and childlike, with an actual function. And then
Okay.
yeah, and then in context to the food, I was like, how about a banquet or a potluck or something? And they do like an annual gathering of the islands to celebrate. And that's
Yeah.
how I wanted to connect with the theme.
I love that concept of an annual banquet that like unifies. I think, as we were talking about earlier with like food unification, I think that's just such a wonderful end completion goal to just think of a joyous annual potluck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, what was like, well, I was gonna ask challenges, but you kind of already talked about being sick. I think obviously that knocks it out of the park when you kind of can't get what you want to out there. But did you have a favorite part about developing the game, perhaps? Was there something that you just genuinely love about this piece?
This is my first time making a 3D game in a really long time. I don't think I've made one since college. I've been out of college for what, like 8 years now. So that was fun to relearn. And then I enjoyed making the 3D models. And then today I kind of sped through making the characters that you see. And I kind of like how those
Okay.
turned out. I'll probably use those for another project. So
Yeah, I
that's
was
fun.
saying like I loved the cutaways during the narrative to those characters. I like the art style that they were drawn in. I think it's very cute. I love it.
Right. What engine? Is this Unity or
Yeah, Unity.
okay?
Awesome. And
Word.
do you have any plans to like expand on this game in particular, or take anything into the future with this Solarpunk title?
I'm gonna take a break because I'm
That's
tired
fair.
of looking at it, but I do want to come back and like polish it because it's not quite what I had envisioned for the final. And then I want to go back and clean that page up because I don't know why every time I upload a itch.io game, everything's wonky. So I'm gonna go work on that too.
I feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Very real on the I'm gonna take a break. I understand
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit about your journey, guys. That was Solar Skies. Please check it out. I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, go check out the other game jam as well that kind of had a solar punk theme as well. I'm sure there's a lot of amazing games that are cross-listed on there as well. But we will see you guys in a few minutes. This time it's on purpose for Blackbird Pie. All right.
All right. See you soon.
Thank you.
Hey, hey.
Hello, we're back once more. And we actually had to skip a couple, so we are now at Bot Race Ranch if you're following the order. And this is a monster raising and racing game made for this game jam, and your bots each have their own mood and stats. You are going to assemble them together to create speedy vehicles and race for prizes. So without further ado, let's take a look at Bot Race Ranch.
I mean, I remember seeing a little bit of this when there was some stuff posted in the server. I was like, what is this going to be like? And now we have actual characters. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
yeah, they grow every week. Got it.
These guys might be cute. That's a good one.
This feels like an ad. Like
It's a good one though. You know, like I'm being sold on the mechanics.
right. Oh wow.
I like that anime. That was great. I love that. Ah, so cute.
Physics at work.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, we are
That's
here
funny.
with lead developer, creator of this game. Tell us a little bit about your initial concept. I know a lot of us saw the initial concept and what was going on in the chat, but what was your inspiration? Like, how did you get this concept going?
Yeah, so um, I started off looking into some of the resources that were posted when the jam started, and there's a really interesting one that was talking about like decolonizing games and like what it means for your game to even have like colonial values. And that it was really interesting to me, especially because I love monster taming, like monster catching games, Pokemon, like all these types of games, right? And so I was like, how can I take that type of concept and make it a little bit less like weird with the power dynamics and stuff like that. And so I eventually landed on the idea of like kind of giving giving the creatures their own like control of themselves and like it kind of being more of a physics challenge to organize them and assemble them together. And that's what this game is.
That's amazing.
Oh.
I loved how you put together that trailer. Could you talk a little bit about pushing that trailer together? Because I love the structure of it. It was not just gameplay, but kind of some commentary on the game itself.
Yeah, well, I've I did a lot of job hunting recently, and one of the things that I've done like with my portfolio is I put together these like gifs that were basically they felt like ads, like Instagram or like TikTok ads for my work. And so I've kind of gotten to the habit of just like using that formula, kind of like making it like a yeah, like an ad you would see. So that's kind of how it is. It's kind of supposed to introduce all the features, and make it look fun and quick.
I
Hmm.
love that. That was great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, I'm curious because there was a lot of intricate animations and stuff like that. For you, what did you find was like the biggest challenge? I think you were talking a little bit about, obvious time constraint stuff, but what were some things that you feel like you had to overcome during this month?
Yeah, I mean, I really had to be kind of as efficient as I could be with this project because of how little time I had to devote to it. So I would say one of the biggest challenges was just trying to make it like look good, considering that I'm like not an artist. I don't have like good art pipeline. Um, I ended up trying to, especially like since I want such a large breadth of like these characters, little monsters you can have. I had to learn some like procedural art things that were wonky at first and like challenging to put in, but they paid off really well
Oh.
because it was really efficient to like make lots of stuff after that.
Oh, it's a
Okay.
good process.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. We have to talk more about some of those learnings because however you can make things go faster, right, for your process and still achieve what you want to achieve. Those are good notes. Are they also the characters they move on their own, right? Like that's AI, like them walking
Yeah.
on their
Yeah, they have some AI that makes them kind of wander around, and then
Mm.
when they're racing, there's also some code they use to like steer themselves so they
They steer
go
themselves.
straight along the
Okay.
path. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Fascinating. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah, a lot of like stuff that's I feel like there's more to do with this idea of like their own self-awareness and like their own like choice choices that they decide to engage in, even
Yeah,
though they're doing this specific thing on this ranch, but there's like other things that other variables that are uncontrollable by someone else, that they'll just
right.
do, and expanding on what that could even look like. I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, one of my favorite, like one of the biggest inspirations for this game is Monster Rancher, which is
Mm,
obviously a similar name.
old school.
And that series, like there's a lot of state that like lives inside of the monster. Like it might just be sad today, or it might just be feeling lazy and it just doesn't want to do things. And like I did put like moods on them and stuff, and I really wanted to play with the idea of like they're not just here to like do what you tell them to do. You have to make like they want to have a good life and they want to do what they want to do, and you can just kind of bring out the potential in them if they're willing to work with you.
Ah,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
hell
that.
yeah.
It's very awesome. Well, do you have any, plans on expanding upon on this game, or um, just next steps you intend to take with it, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I kind of left on the table that I would love to get to this game. I think that there are right now just two types of bots. There's one that's like kind of a jet. There's one that's like a wheel and it kind of spins. But I'd actually looked into Tales of the Tears of the Kingdom at all their different like little physics objects they have that you can put together. And I was like, I would love to make like a type of bot on based on like all these parts that you could just really play with it and like build all sorts of different devices in the game. So that's something I would love to add. It's just more of that content.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, that physics engine for Breath of Wild Tears of the Kingdom is immaculate. So I'd be insane physics to play around with. So
Yeah,
Heck
it
yeah.
was hard enough just to have like these two things.
I can
It's really
imagine. Yeah. Just to have them walk on their own and things like that alone is such a feat. So amazing job. Amazing job.
thank you.
And thank you for sharing with us, guys. That was Bot Race Ranch. Hope you check it out. But yeah, thank you for sharing, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your journey and your next steps. And we'll let you go. But thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. See you, Johnny.
See you.
That's what's up.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love me a Tears of the Kingdom physics engine. Like Hey everybody, we are back. And we are back with our last demo of the showcase Saturn of the Sea. And we're going to talk about this game. It is a short narrative-focused 2D side-scroller following Nat, a small child armed with the hope of granting the last landwalker her final wish. Without further ado, let's check it out.
All right.
That was cool. I like that intro.
Mm-hmm. We got narrative. Oh, we put the tutorial in the game.
Ah, I love that.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. This already has me because narrative-driven games where I can attach to the character. Love it. Yeah. The music is so calming.
It is, isn't it? You know. Oh, we got choices too. All right, nice.
Dang, dialogue options.
Yeah. Do they actually mean anything, or is it? Are they just
Trader's
fluff?
secret. Trader's secret.
Yeah, they're supposed to mean things, but I didn't get a chance to implement like conditionals, but I figured, that can be a narrative of itself.
Yeah. Illusion of choice. It works. They'll never know.
Illusion of choice. These houses, are they also made out of trees?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it's at the bottom of a tree.
Yeah.
I love that.
Interesting. Oh,
Ooh.
lights are off. Ooh,
I like
vibes.
that switch up. Very cool.
Interesting.
See, now I'm invested. I'm invested
little
in
bit,
the
right?
story. Yeah, like
A little bit, right? Let me see what's going on here. I
Oh,
think it's
that
the
was
grandma part,
awesome.
granny May.
Yeah.
Like that's like, at least for me, that's like, oh, like Southern grandma. Like that's
Yes.
I think of immediately. It's like, oh, let me talk to
love
grandma and see what she has to say.
And I like that, like the walk-up interaction too is really cool. Like how it pops up as you're progressing through the story. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, guys. Like, tell us about how you guys came up with this concept. What inspired you? The theme, the mechanics. Like, talk to us about the process.
Do you want me to go first? Because there's two underlying stories within the game itself from how we approached the project. So the idea is actually from a failed novel world building notes that I had, and I thought it would be kind of cool about collective power, but just like another insular story within that world where everyone's now living on ships, like artificial islands that drift across the ocean currents. And so there's this older generation that's been slowly dying out who remembers how it was to live on land, to see a dark sky, none of this light pollution thing. Hence how that all ended up coming together. So it was more of I had the world building idea of the artificial islands, and then just was like, what short story would work in that world?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, and I kind of just followed Mag's direction. I was like, okay, I like this idea, and my role was just trying to find the right sounds to accompany the story. So making it very uplifting, but also like melancholy at the same time, and so you're fulfilling a dying wish. So like that is heavy, but you want to do it. So that was my whole thought process behind the music part.
Yeah, no, the music was very powerful. I felt those exact emotions, the nostalgia, the sadness, the underlying tone is very, very awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll just transition into like biggest challenges, favorite parts of working on it during the month. Yeah, what did you guys find difficult? What was the best part of it?
My biggest challenge was audio programming. So Godot, we use Godot, and it has community middleware integration, but it's not amazing. So I was like, okay, instead of using middleware, why don't I just do it myself? And so I wanted to learn how to start the music by code, and not even use like the audio like the default audio stream player. I wanted to learn how to start it by code. As the game went on, as you went through each character, the strings lowered in volume to depict the turning off of the lights. So I had to learn how to do that through code, and then also when we went from one level to the next level, also sending that through code. So it was purely just learning how to program, and then Max being a good mentor of I'm banging my head against the wall. What do I do? And Max gave me a lot of direction on how to even start the idea.
Yeah. And my biggest challenge has been time management. I similar to Jay, who presented earlier in the stream, I had day job situations come up that really cut into time that I thought I would have, but it turned out that I didn't have. There was a whole plans of like, oh, we're gonna do it. Like you'll actually physically see the lights turn off as you progress during the level. There was gonna be like some hit, like you have to avoid the peacekeepers because they're thinking that this is an attack from another, like a whole other level of the narrative. Basically, had to get cut because I just didn't have time to implement all of those like little nuances after each conversation. So I was like, let's just keep in a short story type of visual novel type vibe, walking sim vibe, and that seemed to work with both where I was at learning Godot for the first time, where Jamel's at learning Godot and audio programming the first time. So I was like, okay, let's do here.
Right. I know I remember us talking some design stuff before, Maggie, and I was like, yeah, those are, we had some good ideas, but you know, 100%. Well, it sounds like from what Jamel mentioned as well, that like there's a lot of stuff in the back end of this as far as like some of the world building and even some from the programming aspect that like this could be, built into like an actual more fully featured experience for the narrative, and like, the dynamic lighting, for example, and matching with the music, that being a source of progression over time in the game is unique, right? And so like there's definitely some cool stuff that's here that can, be played around with in more ways, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you guys have made like such a strong foundation in order to expand. So, I mean, that transitions me into, do you guys plan on expanding or making it into that big idea that you want to, or are we sick of looking at it?
I don't know if I want to continue this project, but I could definitely see taking this same little team for another project, because our workflows actually work pretty well together, and just like understanding what each other is thinking. So I could see this becoming a more fully fledged next project.
Yeah, Jamel took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what it is. Like, no concrete plans because I need to recover. But we'll see what happens. I'm not gonna give any final ideas either, other than yes, next project we're definitely teaming up again.
Love that.
Awesome, awesome.
That's dope.
Well, thank you guys so much for, sharing a little about your journey and the game. It's beautiful and the producing of it is just amazing. And I'm glad you guys found a little soul tribe to carry on to the next project. So thank you guys so much for sharing and guys, go check it out. Please go play, go click around and we'll let you guys go. But thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. And I guess we'll be right back.
We will be transitioning. We have a couple game trailers to show you that are outside of this showcase. And we will be right back with that. Hi.
Hey, y'all.
We are back and we actually managed to find a stray developer. So we actually have another game to quickly talk about with you guys. That is going to be Chef de Party. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but we have a little clip to show you here and then some chats with the developer about their process. So let's
Right.
go
Let's
ahead.
check it out. Well, we didn't get a playable demo ready, but here's the progress. Inspired by Delicious in Dungeon, which I do know that show.
I still see in my anime list is forever growing.
Backstories, heroic characters. Again, some cute music for the background. Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
Action choices.
Yeah.
Foraging, fishing, hunting, collecting ingredients. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's see.
I get it. Okay.
And cooking elements. Oh, a whole cooking system.
Oh, you got me with the cooking system. I'm gone. I love cooking systems.
Yeah. Oh, and for each of your party members too, so you can see their
Yeah.
status and information.
That's cool. I like that. I like the UI layout for this with the pantry, the dish status, planting. Like that's really
True, right? Yeah.
you can be very efficient with that.
It's like taking one of those like cooking simulator games and then like putting all of it into one
Yeah.
like small like UI screen. And then some credits. Okay, what's up? Clop and pop.
I enjoyed the music.
Right.
Fun. It was bumping.
This is cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Love it.
Party. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I just want to first thank you for even being on here to share because I know it's, work in progress and how game jams go with submissions and the craziness that that causes. So thank you so much. So I
No,
definitely want to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
no, thank you just like streaming and hosting. Like it was just even a good get a chance to share and get out there and work on a different project than I've normally been working on for a while.
Yeah, that like honestly, like I would love to understand how you guys even, came up with this concept and what you guys got done and maybe what you would have liked to implement if given more time and whatnot. But yeah, go ahead and just chat to us about like the development process for you guys.
Sure. Basically, like it really was just like 3 days before the jam started. I noticed it. And I was like, oh, let's go ahead and join. And I think one of the biggest things I really wanted to, the goal is that I like the idea that you would work on the, you would basically make the meal, but you wouldn't do the actual battling or anything like that. So how well you made the meal would decide things. Because like one of the biggest like kind of things with the Listen Dungeons is simply eat food because you need food to think and do things and stuff like that. And plus, I kind of like the idea of just being able to talk with different characters, find out what their tastes were, and try to make what would work best for them and not just made sense. And I think for the most part, yeah, we just gathered, and I really want to thank Cloth and Pop because they were just banging this out on the piano, and we gathered like in real life, like immediately, and just have been working on it. and then after that, it's kind of just communication, sitting down and putting our heads down on it. So this was the first. This was not first game jam I did, but definitely the first one in a long while.
Mm,
Awesome, awesome.
I hear
And
that.
do you guys like have any plans to like implement stuff further, or whatnot, or just continue working on this past this time period, or?
I definitely feel like I'm open. I'm open to doing that because I had lot of fun kind of working on it. Am excited from the story, if you can tell from all the text I've already written, and I'm also very eager to see what my program partner AAA Ron comes up with and all of that because they just had such great ideas themselves. So hopefully so.
Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
And personally, I really love the concept of the whole thing. You know, it's like a not like a common type of, I don't know, a narrative around like a gameplay narrative, you know, that you see with these some of these elements that y'all featured working together with the cooking and then collecting of your items and the different ways that those two things can like come together and progressing with your party members and those kinds of things. You know, those are not usually a focus point for just a game itself. It's like those are like extra features on like larger games, right? Typically, so it's kind of neat to be able to dial in on those ideas and see like how deeper you can get into some of those concepts. You know, so I dig it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
very much wanted to like. Oh, sorry. I very much wanted to represent the show very well because it's not like a standard show in how it talks about fantasy, like a world and all that. So I was like, okay, I gotta get that vibe of the show correct.
Yeah.
yeah, I love the elements that you focused on. I think I'm used to a cooking like game having to do with, okay, we're trying to fill up this restaurant. There's like a time pressure to it, or like the cooking mama style. But this kind of incorporated the fact that like when you are in like a communal space with other people, making sure everybody's fed, that like community aspect of it. And I think that definitely makes it unique. And I'm always a sucker for multi-panel UI windows, so like that efficiency level to it is really cool. So definitely awesome. I love that. I love that. Can't wait to see what you guys do if you do expand on it in the future. So
I'll be happy to show you.
That's
awesome.
real. Yeah. Looking forward. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on and sharing something. I think it's always cool to like just even see progress of people throughout these things because you can really birth some amazing ideas. So thank you for sharing and coming on here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for organizing it.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, alrighty. Well, we'll let you go. We'll let you bounce. I also wanted to quickly touch on, we did skip a few submissions that we will have that you'll find on the itch page. I just wanted to highlight those games fairly quickly while we're talking about them. To go check them out, click them out. I've already played through a lot of the games already. That included games like Earth Hero, Robot Run, Crimson Rose, Blackbird Pie. Just wanted to quickly shout all of those out and go vote for the games that you love, and don't forget to include those wonderful gems as well. But we do have more content for you. If you're not too quick to jump, we do have a couple more things that we want to do and kind of close out here. So we will see you guys again in a few minutes. But thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in a few.
Hey, we're
Hey,
back.
hey. Hello, hello. I know everyone has been sitting here for a while, so we have a few more goodies for you before we release you tonight. We have some game trailers that we're going to show you. The first one I'm going to say is something really interesting. I saw it earlier today, coming to us from Mac Kendema. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. And the newly formed Borderless Studios. We are happy to show a trailer for their upcoming game, Clock Out at 2, and some info about the studio. Clock Out at 2 started at the Fall Game Jam, and they have been expanding ever since. So without further ado, let's take a look at this upcoming project. I'm excited to see it again because it was pretty good.
Hello everyone, my name is Matt Kandima and I'm the CEO of Borderless Translations and Borderless Studios. Over at Borderless Translations, what we do is CEO of Borderless
Cool.
Translations for movies, TV
Just
shows,
refreshing
video
here.
games, think
Okay.
subtitles, closed captions. Recently we've been working with clients such as FIFA, Apple TV, as well as NBC. Now over to games. With games, our flagship title, Clock Out at 2, has been touring around the world, both in Japan and in the US, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback. With Clock Out at 2, your job is to survive the workday as a minority. Oh no, right? It's something that we've been working on for the past 8 months. It started from a game jam idea, and it's been taking off since. So I'm looking forward to you guys playing it. For those who have played it, thank you so much for your support. And please follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, we soon to be TikTok. And so I want to say thank you to MGK as well for giving us the opportunity to kind of talk about us and always supporting us. And if you like what we do, please join us on Ko-fi and buy us, a drink. Appreciate you and thank you so much. Bye.
All right. That was a surprise.
Uh, I genuinely love what they're doing and the message behind what they are expanding on. So I can't wait to see the full game project.
Oh yeah, they've been working pretty hard on this for the past I don't know 6 months since they finished the first jam. So
That's insane.
it's great to see it. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys for sticking with us the entire time. It's been quite the ride, and it was wonderful to go through all these games with you all. So many impressive teams and projects. If you see a game that you like, please do not forget to vote. Voting is open right now. And as you've heard from many of the teams, people do plan on expanding these projects past this game jam. So if there's anything that resonated with you, definitely reach out to support. We just want to quickly highlight some of the organizations that made this possible again as we're doing this. For sure, want to talk a little bit about Black and Gaming before I toss it here to Tim to talk about Melanated Game Kitchen a little bit. But go ahead and go to the next slide, Burr, if possible. But yeah, Black and Gaming, it's a key sponsor and collaborator for this jam. They have offered many outreach programs, planning assistance. If you're not part of that community, I just would emphasize joining. even while here hosting, how I found them was just through talking to people who were involved in that, and they're a wonderful organization. Just reemphasizing their mission is to connect, educate, and empower Black talent in the worldwide gaming ecosystem, striving to achieve significant increases in Black representation that accurately reflect the diverse participants in the industry. So please go join the Discord community. They're everywhere at every event you could possibly think of. And just keep out. I think there's a huge town hall event in Mixer that's coming out that is a wonderful networking opportunity that will be coming up soon. It's meant to inform the community and just talk about what's next for this organization, and just a wonderful place to start if you're looking for uh, gamers, people who are developing things like this, hosting anything. So please stay connected through them. There's a Facebook group as well and other social media platforms. You can apply on their website to be a member. And I will toss it to Tim for other closing statements and the Melanated Game Kitchen highlights as well.
Thanks, Giselle. Yeah, Black Hat Gaming has been a huge support. A lot of their team has also been part of the, backbone for making this current jam what it's able to do, especially with being able to offer prizes and some of these other elements for those who have been supporting the jammers for the last month or so. So great to have them around. Um, as for Melanated Game Kitchen, as you know, as a lot of you all know who are here, or people who are new, we do host game jams within our collective pretty regularly throughout the year. Typically we have a series called Culture Bites that we focus on, and about 2 or 3 times out the year we host a game jam for our community and for other people that want to come in and create with us, and we use that as a launching pad for other games to develop and form from that point. So, um, that's what we will be continuing to do. But for those who don't know about what we do in general, we are a collective and a co-op studio, right? So we are made up of game creators that are focused on the creation and curation of unique interactive experiences that reflect the African diaspora in particular. And we collaborate and bring in people from those who are related to our diaspora and try to represent us in these games that we create. And so currently we are accepting new members into our collective. The types of things that we make, some of these things don't ever be made into a full thing. Some of them do get made into a full thing and are able to branch off into actual projects and larger studios and things like that. But we're currently looking for producers, community managers, social media managers, programmers, artists, a large gambit of people to join the collective to help us push forward on this vision. If you're interested in joining us, please go to our homepage, check out our site, subscribe to our newsletter, and please reach out to me or some of the other organizers in our group to inquire about joining, and we'll see where that goes. As for other things, upcoming events. So yes, the jam is over today. This is not the last of that you'll see of us related to the game jam. Obviously, we have prizes that we'll be awarding to our jammers based upon the judging that will happen over the next 1 to 2 weeks, right? And so we'll get back and give some announcements about that. But most recently, next week, we are collaborating with Josh Boykins of IntelliGame for a gameplay variety stream. So we'll be playing through all of the game submissions from the game jam that are ready to be played. And maybe there's some other games that'll be thrown in there as well. IntelliGame typically does many different streams throughout their week featuring indie games and having some very interesting deep conversation about the games that they're playing. And so next Sunday, June 9th at 2 p.m. on IntelliGame's Twitch channel. Join us on there. And if you are a game jammer who did get your submission in, and please show up to the stream, and when your game is going to be played, we'll have more information for you guys, so you can be in the stream as far as on the chat and participate in any live Q&A in the chat for that stream. So we'll see you guys there next week. And then let's just wrap things up. Next slide, Bear, please. Yeah, thank you. We just like to thank everybody for their assistance and help for making this game jam possible and making it a success, and helping to provide a good space for what we do here. All of our moderators for assisting the participants and helping to keep our community safe. Our mentors for sharing their experience and expertise and knowledge, and also the many organizers and planners and tech experts who have been assisting to make this thing happen and make it into what it is today. I'd like to give some particular call outs to some of our organizers: Johnny, Chris Burrs, Chris Gale, Jabari, some of the other folks in Black and Gaming, our mods: AJ, Erica, Jabrisha, Zach, Ashley. There's a couple other folks I may be missing. And then our judges, who we haven't done a formal announcement, but our judges: Caleb Epps, Finney Bryant, and Jabari Ali. You'll be hearing from them more soon. And then lastly, Bear, I think you just had the page up, but to our artists who have been assisting to elevate what we've done, really, 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 in particular, PK King Jepson, who has made the new cover art that you all saw with our Jamaican beef patties, which is our food dish for the jam, and then Kai, who made our awesome new stream pages that you guys have seen today. This is the debut of these new pages that we've been featuring, and I love them. I hope you guys did as well. I hope you all took in the recipes as well and enjoyed those too. Really cool. So I'm very happy with how that came out. And lastly, thanks to all the Game Jam teams for your hard work, focus, your attention to the details, and for keeping up with what we're doing and all the announcements and instructions for how we wanted to, showcase your work. And thanks to all the viewers and our supporters along the way who have been keeping up with what we're doing and, taking interest in what we're creating and the people that are behind creating it. As we were saying with our theme of collective power, we are better and stronger together than we are apart, right? And so that's been the focus of this jam. Giselle, any other things you'd like to add before we wrap up?
No, just thank you. I've been lurking in the Discord this whole month and just being able to see the community that's been building and what people were sharing. It's wonderful to see the fruits of everybody's labor come together at the end. I think it's wonderful to just see how all of the projects panned out, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and happy to have touched and heard all the stories from the developers, because they can always go to a million different places. So just thank you for being with us. Thank you for sticking through this long stream. I know, but thank you for having us, and thank you for just being in this space to create. I think it's so important to be given space and time to create our art, and I think this is a very meaningful series that we run. And for that exact reason, just seeing the way different people interpreted the prompts was wonderful. So thank you guys for having me, and thank you for being here.
Heck yeah. And thank you, Giselle, for doing an awesome job hosting for us for the kickoff and for the showcase.
For sure.
It's been great having you. Yeah.
Congratulations to everybody.
Congrats, teams. That's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, we will see you next time at the next jam and for next week at IntelliGame as well. And subscribe to our newsletter if you want to keep up to date with current projects, upcoming projects, and future events that we're hosting. So see y'all later.